Hello, 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 and thanks for tapping in with Sia. All right, where we're promoting higher frequency living, where wellness plus healing equals happiness. All right, so what is higher frequency living? Okay, higher frequency living is simply choosing wellness. Okay, and wellness is the action. All right, the action of changing your thoughts, changing your behaviors so you can have a different consequence, right? And we got this from CBT. I explained it a little more in depth in my previous videos, but feel free to do your own research. All right. So, CBT stands for cognitive behavioral therapy, which that's where the wellness, healing, and happiness comes to play. All right. So, the healing is the thought patterns. So, when I speak to that, I'm speaking to mental. When I speak to wellness, I'm talking about action and behavior, and then happiness is the consequence. And I just want to talk to you about higher frequency living because a lot of people feel like, hey, I've been doing this for a week, I've been doing this for a month, and I still feel the same in certain areas. Well, higher frequency living, you have to understand that sometimes things take time because your body is working on one thing and it can't go to the next until one thing is complete. Okay? Can your body multitask? Absolutely. But you will see the results. Just stick with it. All right? A lot of people get into wellness and they start changing their diet, right? And as soon as they get that breakthrough, the breakthrough meaning, as soon as they get that breakthrough, so my stomach is hurting, I'm having headaches, I'm vomiting, I can't use the restroom, or I'm using the restroom too much and I can't do that at work, or for whatever reason, they stop. So they stop right before that breakthrough. Or I'm journaling every day. I'm speaking positive affirmation. And guess what? I share with you guys. For 2 years, I was crying every day, down on myself. But that was my breakthrough. I stayed the course and I didn't give up. And now I was able to not only start something that I wanted to do for 10 years, I was able to start living my life. So, with that being said, what is living life? What does that mean? For this video, I just want to speak to 3 things about higher frequency living, okay? And the first thing is choosing wellness, okay? Saying I get to wake up in the morning. Some people did not wake up. I get to meditate. I get to give gratitude. I get to journal. I get to wake up with my children and say, I love you. Help them get ready for school. Give them a nutritious meal before they leave. Okay? Speaking positive about yourself, others. Speaking positive about your home. Okay? Speaking positive about your car instead of, I hate this car, I'm tired of this car. All right, keep speaking that and it's going to be gone. So appreciate everything you have, right? So that's choosing wellness. Actually applying knowledge, right? Learning, changing, growing, using, removing, replacing, understanding a time that, hey, right now I just got to sit this on the shelf because it's not serving me right now. Does that mean it's going to be there forever? No. But we're choosing wellness, remember? We're applying that knowledge to have wisdom, right? The next thing is being mindful. Being mindful of your surroundings. Being mindful of what you're listening to, right? People talk about vibes. People talk about energy. People talk about frequency. It's all the same thing. What energy is coming off of the things around you. Are you surrounding yourself with low vibrations, low energy, and low frequency? In my videos, I speak to those things, and I speak to, uh, you know, building it up. So how can we uplift our frequency? What music are you listening to, right? It has certain tones in it. Do your research about frequencies that's on the television, commercials. Those frequencies on purpose to convince you for some things, right? Subliminal messages, right? We heard of that, right? All right. Then we talk about clothing. In one of my videos, I'm going to speak to how even the things you wear have a frequency. Cotton, linen, wool, all these things are in the Bible and in text, speaking to how sometimes you shouldn't wear mixed fabrics because what it'll do. Again, do your research. I'm going to post another video speaking to it briefly just to open you up to ask those questions. Why? How? All right. What kind of people are you around? Are you around people to feed you and nourish you, not just what you eat, but what you hear? Are they motivating you? Are they telling you things like you can do it, you got this, you're beautiful, I love this about you? That's building up your vibrations, okay? Are you drinking water? A lot of people say to me, I don't drink water. I don't like water. And water, our body is made up of 90% of water. And remember, your body being made up of water is listening and remembers everything you say because water has memory. All right. And so remember that previous video I spoke to you guys about speaking into the water. I hope you guys did your research because that's the same thing that you need to do to yourself. Because you're made up of water, speaking to yourself positive is important. Those positive affirmations, those positive words are very important. So be mindful of what you're saying, what you're putting out, and what you're putting in. Okay? If your home, when you come in your home and you just feel sad and you feel stressed, for me, one thing I did was I had to analyze what I had in my home because I wasn't getting any rest, right? Remember, meditation and reflection will help you understand the things you need to do because most of the things that we need to know and learn are already inside of us. And because it's already inside of us and we need resources, right? We need information, we need knowledge. Once we put that out there and our body remembers, now we're going to be in tune with the things we need, and those resources and knowledge are going to be in front of us, right? So if I need to know, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I still feel stagnant, I still feel stressed, I still feel tense, I'm doing my meditation, things are going to be around me to remind me, hey, this is what you need to do and check. So one thing is my sewing room, my office was in my home. So when I come home, instead of coming home and resting, enjoying my home, I was still working. So I moved all of my sewing materials. I moved my office and things like that. I moved it all to my office. So now I just work at my office and my home is my home. Now, for some people, they like working at home. They like having an at-home office, and that's great for them. And so we have to learn that whatever's good for someone may not be good for us. And that good thing for someone else, if we share our experiences, yes, it might be good or it might help us. But for me, having an at-home office is not good for me today. Okay? And we need to understand that. When we talk about frequencies, when I used to teach counseling to my students, I always spoke to how treatment, recovery, counseling, it's not a microwave thing. And when I say microwave thing, I mean everything pertaining to it. When you put food in the microwave, it sucks out all of the nutrients and vitamins in it. Trying to do things quickly and take shortcuts, it sucks out the goodness, right? When you take your time, and it might take a few more minutes, like heating food up on the stove or in the oven, it takes more energy, but the outcome is greater because you still will have those vitamins and nutrients. It's not zapped out of it, right? And then you feel fulfilled. And so I'm going to break that down. With the microwave society that we live in, where everything is instant and I want it now, that's very convenient, especially when you have a strict schedule, when you have to be at work, you have to drop the kids off, you got to do this, do that. We have busy lives today, right? And so we got to keep up with the times to a certain extent. Sometimes people do things because they're trends. So are you using the microwave because everyone has microwaves in their home? Are you doing everything because it's a trend, because other people are doing it? You get what I'm saying? Is it because other people have it, or is it just quick and convenient? It's quick. It only takes a few minutes to make things in a microwave. But I'll tell you this, you're still gonna be hungry. When you make things in a microwave, it's hot and crispy on the outside, and guess what? Sometimes it's so burnt that you have to break it off and you can't eat it because it's too hard. But guess what happens to the inside? Sometimes the inside is still frozen, right? So it's nasty and you can't even eat it all. So you're not fulfilled and you're still looking for something else because it's not enough, and it's not no there are no nutrients in it. All right. The another thing about microwaves, cooking in a microwave, is you don't even have to pay attention to it, right? Most people just throw it in with no effort. They don't place it in. They don't, some people don't even cover it. Some people don't put a cover or a napkin or anything. They just let it splatter all over the microwave. So it's no effort or thought put into it. It's just throw it in the microwave, push the button. When I hear the ding, I'm going to come back to it, right? But in the oven, people might say, oh, that's old school. You know, not following those trends helps you have that longevity. And this is why today you may see a lot of younger people that look like older people. And you might see older people that look like younger people because they're still doing things that are old, okay? But they're fulfilled. So take the time and prepare. Take the time and gather your supplies, right? You're going to have to get up, get down, stir stuff, mix stuff, flip stuff over when you use an oven, right? You have to preheat that oven before you put the food in. You can still set your timer, you know. With the oven, you also have to pay attention or you could get burnt. So you have to pay attention. You have to be cognizant of what you're doing. You open that oven, you got your mitts, you got your towel or whatever you use to open the oven, put it in. You got to constantly check, stir, flip, mix. You got to set the temperature at a certain setting. So it's more work, but at the end of the day, that oven meal, you will be very fulfilled. So what are you doing in your life? Are you choosing the quick way out, the harder way out, and still seeking? Or are you choosing the oven route? Well, yes, it might take time. You might cut yourself, you might get burnt, but in the end, you'll be fulfilled. Okay? And guess what? that will teach you a lesson and you'll never do certain things again, right? All right. Now, we do have alternatives such as just grabbing that apple, grabbing an orange, grabbing a banana, or whatever to start your day versus eating a full meal. And sometimes I don't even eat till like 12 or 1 because I'm not hungry. But I do drink my water when I first wake up, and I do have my tea a few hours later, okay? You also could do smart cooking. Like, you remember back in the day when Big Mama and Mom used to chop things up in the morning, throw it in the crock pot, and by the time everybody gets home, dinner is ready, right? And that's very fulfilling, nutritious, and it tastes even better when it's left over. Okay? So, thank you guys for tapping in with Sia, where we are living a higher frequency lifestyle where wellness plus healing equals happiness.